It's a large 10-inch cast iron skillet. The burner is on about 1 notch past the medium. The skillet is cold. It's a cast iron skillet. The secret to cast iron cooking is a hot skillet. This one's cold to the touch. The burner is hot, and it's getting hot really quick. When it's so hot that you can't touch it, it's time to use it. Oh, the recipe. It's a smoked sausage etouffee with chicken. The cast iron skillet, and I'm going to use the recipe calls for a ½ cup of butter, but you know, a ½ cup is a little bit too much, so I'm going to keep that little piece right up there for the time being. I'm going to set that aside. This is not one of them recipes where you go be putting no margarine in yonder. You got to use the good stuff. Just a little short there on ½ cup of butter. And you know, kind of to make up for it, I'm going to put some vegetable oil in there. We're going to make a roux. So I'm just going to pour a little. Y'all see about how much that was there? We might have to put some more of that in there. We'll get that butter melted down there. Going to put some onions in there. This right here was, you see that? To let you know how much it is, just kind of rake them off of there. And you see that? It's not even hardly a handful. Just kind of little, about a handful of chopped up onions. Yeah, keep this a-moving now. This is a roux we making. And when you're making a roux, you do not, you don't be fooling around. And then the reason for this recipe, it's a dinner for two. And I've got that rice. Y'all see that rice over there in that? Y'all see that rice right there? Oh, it's fluffed up. It's ready to go. On standby. And we got them there garlic flavored crackers on standby also. You get them onions in there first because you want them to get fried. But what I've done, I saved this up right here. That's about 2 cups of it's that there smoked sausage, and I cut them up in pieces about that big right there. Y'all see that? And I done already had them in the pot over there, boiled them, got them done and all, and then I chopped them up, and they're cooled down now. And this right here, that's that chicken that's been that was a baked chicken, and that's about a cup and a half of a baked chicken breast. I saved it over for this. I'm gonna shove it in that there refrigerator while we making this roux. One thing about it, you want to keep your meat cool if you can. Okay, y'all see that? Yeah, that right there. This right here is the kind of stuff that they teach you. They teach you this right here in culinary school. Oh, when you got something going like, actually they don't. This right here is country style. You would never see this in culinary school. I take that statement back. Oh yeah, that's looking good. We're gonna put some flour in there. And about them there measurements, if I could just kind of elaborate on measuring when you're cooking, it's a good idea to have an idea of, you know, how much you're putting in there. Oh yeah, we'll set that butter aside too. I do want kind of a medium dark brown roux. That's just doing fine right there. All them onions, we're gonna put some stuff in here. Just kind of lucky that I had everything. When the call come in, did I mention that this was dinner for two? When the call come in that it was time to cook something, you know, when the idea arose, yeah. Let's put that flour in there now. And to To explain the measuring system that I use, country style. You know, it's you use what you got. You know, if you was fixing a recipe and it called for, just let me elaborate for a second. Leave a comment even. If I could elaborate, it may improve your cooking. If you are cooking something and there's an ingredient in there that you don't like, well, don't put it in there. Just leave it out. The recipe won't suffer for it, and you'll be more happier. Oh yeah, I wish you can y'all smell that. Anyways, back to the flour. I really don't know what kind that is right there. It's just flour. Could be self-rising, I'm not sure. Maybe plain. You really can't tell. That's one thing about flour. You can't tell what kind it is just by looking at it, really. But anyway, it's a packed down measurement there because I've been fooling with it. But it's a little more than 1/3 of a cup, and I don't think that's enough. Actually, the recipe called for 1/4 of a cup. But I'll show you something. When you're putting it in there, if you get a handful about like that, now that's empty. When you get a handful of, and see, like I'm telling you, you can't hardly tell if that's self-rising or plain. You just can't hardly tell it. But the point I'm making is a handful like that is about 1/3 of a cup. I don't think that may be enough. We'll stir that in right there, and I think we may. We're going to use goat milk in this recipe right here. I advise it to one and all. We're going to use some mustard, chopped, minced garlic, black pepper, salt, paprika, and red pepper flakes. And we're going to put them in there. Oh yeah, like I say, you don't want to be fooling around right here. This right here is the word. This will. When you are cooking, the color of your roux will become your trademark. And you see, that's the temperature is just right. You will occasionally you will look in on the correct temperature, as I have done here. Oh, it's my lucky day. Oh, it smells good. This is going to be good right here. I can tell already. This is going right. In the cast iron skillet, one of the questions that I get asked more often in the comment section down there is, you know, how to season a cast iron skillet. Okay, I don't want to sound rude or nothing. You know, I don't want to be short with the answer on how to season a cast iron skillet. Okay, that's a little bit too hot. I'm gonna cut that back a little bit. Back to medium, straight up and down on the medium. Cooking a little bit too fast. And we're going to have this etouffee on top over a bed of this brown rice right here. Oh yeah. Don't let me forget about seasoning this cast iron skillet. Actually, it's one of those things that you need not worry about. The best way to season a cast iron skillet is to use it. Your seasoning is not something that you do. You can't fake. You can't fake seasoning a cast iron skillet. You can't do it in one afternoon. You can't do it in a day. You got to cook with it. You got to use that skillet. The more you use it, the seasoning will build up on it. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah. Now, that's I want this to be a little bit browner. It's darkening up. Up here in Arkansas, you know, down there in New Orleans, they call this a roux. Call it a roux. And you spell that kind of, you really don't spell that word right, really. Roux, look it up there, how you spell roux. It's not spelled right. Up here in Arkansas and over there in Kentucky, we call this gravy. This is homemade gravy right here. This right here, if you had a steak, or if you poured this on a steak, you wouldn't eat meat the steak. You would just eat this gravy right here with a piece of homemade bread, or a biscuit. You put this right here on a biscuit, you wouldn't eat no steak. Etouffee. Etouffee is the recipe name. Country style, Arkansas. But it's if you're down there in New Orleans, you'd call it etouffee. But up here in Arkansas, you see how brown that is? I'm gonna cut that back a little more. That's just right. And so far, we ain't been all day on this right here. I do want it to cook down. It's just a little bit thick. It's a little thin. I want it to be a little bit thicker. But the color's just right. Okay, let's put that garlic in there now.